got more drama this morning. Check out my list though. This list bites. I got this a while back. It's pretty cool from one of the gift shops. So further inspection of some stuff that I didn't know yesterday, and I'm going to show you here in just a minute. The coupler, so you have the end motor or the engine, transmission. It's coupled to the prop shaft that goes to the propeller. When I've pulled engine before, and each time I've ever pulled engines, you disconnect the two couplers. One side of the coupler is hooked to the transmission, the other side is hooked to the prop shaft, and they're held, I think it's 4 bolts, and they come loose. Starting to do my check-in and just things, getting my mindset. This morning I was looking in there, and the whole coupler, there's good news and bad news. The good news is the coupler is still together. The bad news is the whole coupler came loose from the transmission. That wasn't supposed to happen. So not sure exactly what the deal is and why that happened, other than it makes it more dicey. It's leading me to believe I hit something. Whether that something was back in the Dismal Swamp, whether that something was yesterday when I was underway, there was a bit of damage done. So I got a lot of questions and emails and a lot of support, and I appreciate that. But a lot of people surmising what they thought it was, and that the transmission would be fairly easy, not that they understood, but it would come out fairly easy. Well, this morning, finding that whole coupler has separated from the transmission tells me there was more, it's a bigger problem than what I can see yet. So, what I'm going to have to do today is get into water in preparation for moving it up there. I'm definitely not going to move a weekend. Y'all know already the boats today are already kicking out pretty good. So on Monday, so what I got to do is get in the water today, because the whole prop shaft coupler moved back about, 10, 12 inches, and I'm going to show you here in a minute. The whole prop shaft moved back. So that's kind of making me believe that there's whatever I have hit, whatever damage it caused, there could be more damage is what I'm getting at. So that we don't know. We'll see Monday. We'll figure that out. So apparently from the time that the problem occurred yesterday, for those that were watching live when it happened, from the time that I drove from there back to here, released it, it could have been from the prop spinning, whatever, something happened there, and the whole thing came loose and it slid backwards. So long story short, I can't leave it like that and travel 8 miles to where I'm gonna haul out at. So I need to get under there and pull. I'm gonna try to do it first from inside to pull it forward, and then I'm gonna tie the prop to the strut. It apparently, when it slid back, because when I'm underway, I don't want that spinning, because without having 2 people on board, I can't drive and really look. I guess I sort of could, but to keep from getting underway and having that thing spinning in there, running against the wherever it's running on fiberglass or whatever it would be spinning against, would obviously do some damage. So I need to tie that prop shaft so that it won't spin while I'm underway. So that means there's probably more damage than what I know. And again, that's why, there was some people saying just do it in the boat. Like pull the transmission like in the water. Just again, more reason why it has to be hauled. At this point, I've got to see whatever the damage is that I can't see underwater. I'll see something when I go under there, I'm sure, while I'm tying the prop fork, tying it to the, and, go from there. So, done a good deal of checking already on like transmissions, rebuilt. Again, the same thing from talking to people. You're not just getting it built right away. Going to buy one off the floor somewhere is a possibility. It's a very expensive deal. So, anything in boating, if you throw enough money at it, you can fix anything, or someone will come fix it for you. But so anyways, so we're still working the problem. We don't know all the problems yet. Let's put it that way. That's about all I can tell you. I just wanted to update you. I'm gonna sort of chill out once I get in the water, get that thing tied for it. I pretty much have the weekend to think about things and work on things, whatever. Also leaking. I put ads down there. There's transmission fluid comes out, which further tells me there was something bigger than I know. I hit something had to create all these problems. That's not just from a transmission, a part breaking inside of it. Something more occurred, and I don't know. So we'll know. Y'all will know when I know when we haul out Monday and see what we're going to be dealing with, what we're up against. So with that, also been talking with some buddies this morning on the phone that have had issues like this, transmission-wise, where they were on the hard, I think he said 3 weeks on the hard, waiting, to get parts, get the transmission, get other parts. So it's not a real quick process. Let's put it that way. That I'm pretty sure of. So, Loretti, good morning. Slim Stan, good morning. John, Agruda, and then John Pender. Richard, hey Mike, when you get through with the live chat, send me a picture up close of the coupling that's connected to the shaft. I have an idea. So Richard Bird, he's been a follower, and I've went and seen Richard several times. I'm trying to get him to get his YouTube channel going because he's a well information. That's who I was talking to earlier. So he's been through this stuff before and what have you. So Richard, I'll reach out to you shortly. Rod K, good morning. Let's see. Jim, good morning. Hope all goes well. We'll be working the problem, brother. Y'all will be following along as we work the problem. Good morning, Kat. Stress that this stuff shall pass. No question about it. Now, listen, guys, I will not waver in getting this fixed. It may take time. That's what's going to happen. It's going to take time. But, it's going to be fixed for sure. No question about it. John, sent you another text with info. I did get it, brother. Been working on some stuff. Thank you. I'll reach out to you, probably give you a shout later, and then we'll chat about that. Might be worth a drive home to folks you know and trust. Very well possible. If me and Richard was going over all the possibilities. The problem is, while I'm not going one way or the other yet, because I don't know, we got to wait till this boat's hauled out. Again, like I was just telling, like I didn't see that. Yes, that thing was connected yesterday. When I stopped, when it happened, and I looked in here and I put it in gear, the transmission was rumbling, but the prop shaft was connected. So somewhere there was enough damage done to cause the transmission problem and for the prop shaft to come loose So that ain't normal. That is not normal. So yeah, we're gonna keep working it till we figure it out. Captain Steve, thank you very much. Dean, you didn't hit anything when it broke. I don't know. All I can tell you is recount. You can go back and watch the video. I didn't necessarily hear any loud. I noted the lunge of the boat, and then I immediately said we got a problem, and you can go back and watch the live and see it. The only thing, thinking back, and someone said on one of the lives, is I hit two things in Dismal Swamp. I hit two submerged pieces of wood. Talking to other people, they hit wood. I just don't know, did I hit something that was creating more damage, and then as I made my way, it revealed itself? I don't know. Probably will never know the answer to that question. But what I'm seeing today tells me I'm going to see more damage when I get the boat out where I can see it. Rod K, control the cause, pull it out of the water and trip. This trip is, I probably have, I hadn't put the mileage thing down to see, but I probably have 4,000 miles left over the 3 years of the trip. Everyone knew that my first leg was from here to New York, or from Florida to New York, and then from New York to, or somewhere above New York to get away from the coast. But from there to Tennessee River, season 2, which is here, and then the final in season 3. The whole reason for that, for people coming in, and I have to constantly repeat it, but I didn't want to rush. I don't want to just, there's some people that do the great loop in a year, but then you're just traveling. You're not stopping. Like I had been here almost a week, and I wanted to do that the whole way up. So I basically, let's just call it 4,000 miles, because I don't know yet what the mileage is. But what I am going to do is I am going to fix it right, where I don't have a problem next season or the season after. I'm not going to put a used one in here. I'm not going to buy one from somebody that I don't know and then be not knowing. That just to me would seem foolish. Maybe that would be okay if you were boating in just your area, but when you're traveling basically around the country, you don't want to do that. So it's going to, the transmission that I get will be built by a reputable company that does it every day. And so I hope that y'all will maybe see what I'm doing and saying through this progress, because it'll be totally, on video. And you could probably, let's say, this would be one way of doing it. I don't think it's the right way of doing it, but it would be a way. You might have somebody that you know that works at a transmission shop, just a general transmission shop. And you call them, they're like, yeah, we'll take a look at it. And then they do a little research and they say, yeah, we can get the parts. It's just a transmission. Transmission's a transmission. Well, I don't look at it like that. I look at it like I want someone that does those transmissions every day, multiple times a day. Y'all remember when I went with Marty's engines, the last engines, that same shop, when I did my research on those motors that are in here and are still running great, before I bought, I went to the shop and I wanted to see them doing multiple marine engines every day. I didn't want to go to a shop, because I'd already done this. This had already happened to me, where you go to a shop and yeah, they rebuild motors, but they don't really do marine engines. They're different. It's the same thing with the transmissions. A wise person, I would say, would go to someone who does them every day, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to make sure that when I'm going to make sure when I'm underway that it's done as good as it can be done. You can never have guarantees, but so that I don't deal with this problem in the next seasons. I also do hear people saying, well, get you a used one. I was talking to Richard over the winter season. I'll probably be looking for, because I've seen a few boats down Florida that you can get the whole boat, like the whole boat, for $1,000. Maybe the engine's blowed up or whatever. They're paying marinas. It's sitting in the marina. It's costing them. I've seen that a half a dozen times, and you can get it pretty cheap. Well, I'll haul that sucker to the farm, and I'll part it out and get the part. Now, that would be a good backup transmission, like to go with me in the event the other one gave loose. That's a good idea, but not as your primary. I just don't think that would be a wise thing to do. So hopefully that makes sense. But diagnosis. Rod K, you're 100% right, man. Captain Sully, there's always the last alternative gentleman that said he had a trailer that would haul a 2,000 or 20,000 pound boat. You may want to put it on his trailer and drive it back home to people you trust. No, I don't think, Cap, I need to do that. So at some point, 300 miles up the water from here, I was going to haul it for the winter. Y'all heard me say I'm going to winterize the boat. I kind of was interested. My Jenny's running. I was interested in seeing the whole winterization process, but I definitely don't want to haul the boat back to Florida. I want to, I know it's doable, but that seems like I can definitely fix it, here, and then the boat's here when I start again. It's all the way back up here. I wouldn't want to. I mean, we got. I think I said 1,450 miles under the keel. I definitely don't want to restart that and/or have to haul it back. It's going to stay, somewhere for me to continue the next season. Plus, the whole thing with timing. When you're doing the Great Loop, you have to be in the northern waters from here up by the beginning, unless you run really fast. Because the waters and the canals, everything up there, the locks are only open certain times of the year. Obviously, when it's froze over, you're not doing it. So I need to be up here to start for the next season, regardless of what happens. So hope that is that. Victorious Pup, good morning. My guess is a rope or wire wrapped around the prop shaft and stopped it hard. I don't know. Very possible. I wouldn't say, I don't think, yes, ropes do that, but often the blades will cut them, because I've gotten ropes caught several times. The blades will it usually will keep going. I have had crab pots lock it up tight. Could be a crab pot under there, but with that whole prop shaft coming loose out of the transmission, something that tells me there was something more, something more than a crab pot. Let's put it that way. Don't know though. I don't know yet. When you get back to Tampa, maybe a good opportunity to install or do that. You got to expect in an older boat, you got to expect problems are going to occur. Y'all hear me say it all the time on every boat, but something's always breaking. When you're underway, it's a lot of mechanical systems working, and so something's always breaking. So you expect to have a problem. It is what it is. The thing is, just work the problem through, and hopefully it will be a learning experience. And then I planned on documenting it all so that someone else that's dealing with it, you'll see, and y'all hear me, I basically think out loud so that you're listening to what I'm thinking and then seeing my decision-making progress. Hopefully that helps somebody. There's a lot of people sending me information, and I'm going to have a section on my website just for that information, because it's good information. I may not use it, but someone else may. So hopefully that helps other people as well. So we'll keep going like that. Low Ready at 43:15. Your live stream was an event that's not good. Did something? Was your official reaction for anyone who missed it? I don't know. I haven't looked back to say what time live. You seen it just as it played out. It was absolutely live, and so that if that I'll go back and look because I didn't know what time it was. That's good that you. But no, that was live. We'll go back and check it out myself. Oh, I see what you were saying, Low Ready. Thank you, buddy. He was saying for anybody that missed it, go back and watch that section. You can see it happen. That's, I guess, the cool thing about being live. Y'all see it just like it's happening, just like it happened to me. Y'all seen both people that you can go back and watch the live streams in the Dismal Swamp. Each time I hit something, it was clear I hit something. And that's the challenge of the Dismal Swamp. That's the challenge of a lot of rivers. The problem with the Dismal Swamp in the further up sections, it was only about 6 foot deep. So I draw 3 feet. So something on the bottom, you know, typically you hit it and you ride over it and it's not a problem. And I can't even say that was the problem. I'm just saying those are the only things that I know can recall if I hit something. So 1986 Carver 32 Mariner aft cap. That's what this model is. Captain Steve. Low Ready, interesting. You broke it miles 0. That is interesting, ain't it? That is interesting. You know, I need to go see. I don't know, what is Tampa. What is Tampa on the inland water system? I don't know. That's interesting. I need to look that up. I did when it happened. I went and took a picture when I got back here, so I had 4 miles to it of how far, and I think if I 1,450 miles because I accidentally reset my whole trip way back. But so there's 50 miles to it, but we put 1,450 miles under the keel. We probably would have only made about 1,800 for this season. That's what our goal was. So the boat, you know, I just said it. I think possibly yesterday or the last day coming in here, how well she's done for an older boat. We put a lot of miles on this boat. It's seen a lot for sure. Low Ready says, as a reminder, if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. If you want to see these lives to be notified, there's a little bell notification. People say it's not on your phone, but it is on your computer. If you click that when I go live, you'll know it. And then also hit the like buttons. It helps with the algorithms to share this. If I'm definitely, to my knowledge, I'm the only one live streaming the loop and plan to live stream the entire loop. Wished I'd have started it live streaming straight out of Tampa, but I just, you know, things happen organically. And but I will be live streaming the whole loop. So there's probably other people that are interested. Share it with your families and what have you. Let's see. Clyde asks, do marine transmissions rotate in different directions? Great question. Some do, some don't. Mine rotate in the motors. They count. One spins regular rotation, and then this motor is counter rotating. So in this one is the motor. Some models have both the engines rotate forwardly, and then it reverses into transmission. But these, I have a counter rotating motor. So great question. Engine, not motor. Motor is an electric thing. Kayak 7Cs, that's a great question. Both of my props were damaged when I hit rocks way back in Okeechobee. I would just think that if this was related to that, it would have shown itself well before now. Because if you remember, from the Okeechobee, I went all the way back to Tampa. I went down to the Florida Keys and back. I did trips to Pelican Bay, all over Tampa. So I would, yes, it definitely got hit, but I just got to believe that if that was from that, it would have showed itself a long time ago. Who knows though? Again, I'm guessing, just like y'all guessing. I'm trying to show you everything as I'm going to show you this, and we'll all have our opinions on what we think it is. Because at this point, we will probably never be able to answer that question 100%. If anybody is that good to answer that question, how about tell me what my stock's going to do on Monday? Because I really need to. Just kidding. If you can foresee the future. See, Richard, doing some research, it may not be as we think. We'll know more when I see the close-up pictures of the coupling. All right? That's some good news. Good morning, Captain David. We're just working the problem, brother. That's what we're going to do, keep working the problem. Captain Steve found an 85 part of the 30.5 cabin for sale in Stewart. 17K. Yeah, I'm not looking for one that's running. I almost pulled the trigger on one a couple years ago. I have since now, and also, I have acreage where I live. I will definitely be looking for one, because let me tell you what, like, people don't realize. A lot of times those boats are setting in a marina, and it's costing somebody $400, $500, $600 a month. They can't sell it. The motors is not running, so a lot of times you'll get that thing for a song and a dance. Like, it's amazing, because usually by then they're just done with it. Like, they are just, they just want to be done with it. So I'll be looking for one like that, preferably a smaller one. But like some of the little smaller carvers have this transmission, like the 26s, I think, and ones under 30. They're more trailerable. They're easily. I trailered this one to Polk County when I did a lot of work on it, so I'm paying for so far. But the thing is, there's so much on these boats that's valuable that people don't realize it. Like the steering helms. You can sell those steering helms for $200 or $300 on eBay. These transmissions, if you had one that the engine went bad but the transmission was fine, that you were able to determine that, those transmissions are worth several $100s. It's just, I wouldn't want to put one of them on not knowing as my primary transmission, knowing I got several thousand miles to complete a loop. I don't want to do that, but yeah. Hey Jules, good morning. Sounds like you have a good plan. Continue prayers for your safe journey. Thank you very much. We'll keep working the problem. We'll keep seeing, figuring it out as we go. Grout, good morning. You are the quarterback. Thank you very much for allowing us to play with you, but you are the guy we listen to, and you call the shots. Love you. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. So you can only make your decisions based on your information and try to get good information. And it is what it is. Throughout my life, I've dealt with plenty of problems, and being in the person I was in, pretty much ingrained in you, has a lot of military in a lot of places, but a problem is something to be solved. It's not something to solve you, it's just something to be solved. And if you get in the right mindset about it, to some degree, it can be kind of fun. Now, it hurts your pocketbook, hurts your feelings when it comes to that. But if you sort of get into that mode of it's just something to be solved, then it's really not that bad of a deal. So I'm definitely going to learn something out of this. I can tell you, I tell people this all the time, when I done those motors, and I encourage people to do them all the time. Some people don't, but some people do. And I'm like, because you will learn so much. That's how. So I was just talking to Richard. Richard was telling me his engines or his transmission was about 5,000 with him doing the work. Now imagine if I just towed this up to some or went up to some place and I'm like, all right, y'all handle this, call me when it's done, sort of thing. If I had that kind of money, which I don't, I'd hate to think what if. Whew, I don't know. It'd be expensive. Is all I can tell you. Desmond Group, throw the GoPro underwater so we can see. I will. I'll do that when I go down. I'll do that. Yeah, because I want to document the whole thing, obviously, not just in lives. Show us a picture of that coupling and the keyway or set screw connecting the shaft to the engine. Lots of us can help answer if we see it. Understood? That's what I actually have the hole opened up, pre-opened up, got my flashlight set in here because I'm going to show you what I'm looking at. And then you'll see it all through the process. Captain Steve, keep an eye out, lives in Lakeland. Excellent. Yeah, I'd like, I think I've seen those 26s pretty much have the same powertrain. Most of the bigger ones like that. And yeah, I want to count for one. John says, I have a feeling that's not as severe, but still a challenge. Hopefully that is correct. Jay Hen, good morning. Ever thought of an outboard conversion? I mean, let me say, I thought of it, but like just a whole, what it would take. Not only are those outboards so freaking expensive, you realize that you can buy a block, remanufactured block that lasts a long time for less than $2,000. Do you think you're gonna get? Shoot, you'd have to have like what, 300s, twin 300s setting off here to power it. Yeah, you might as well buy a whole nother boat with that whole configuration before you did that. There's another thing here that y'all doing the loop. There's plenty of channels that you can watch that are people doing the loop that's got a ton of money, and when they encounter this problem, they call a marina and say, hey, I got a problem, can you fix it? And they go, yep, we can fix it. They don't even question really how much it is. They just, can you fix it? All right, there's a lot of us that can't afford to do that. So I'm hoping when this trip is done and other trips that I'll do the same trips in different boats, that people say, you know, I maybe couldn't do that, but I could do this, and it helps them to be able to do it. I know it's happening because I get the feedback, and people are watching and saying, you know, they can conceive that it could happen and they could do it. So, y'all know I have on my channels where I did the engine swaps, videoed every bit of that. This will all be videos. You'll see it eventually. So with that, I'm gonna light it up down here. I'm gonna hold the camera down there. We'll try to get it, let you see it as close as we can. Kind of give you an idea of what I found this morning. The only worst thing about this job is, that's my bump, is when it's leaking now, I'm putting some stuff down there to try to catch it. All right. Y'all see, and I'm gonna go a little closer in just a second to try to give you so you can see that shaft. Give me a second, I gotta rotate the camera. Richard, hopefully you're seeing that. And now, let me turn that is supposed to be up here. that part is typically connected up here to this here. That part, you see the 4 bolts? Them 4 bolts is what you normally take out, and it separates the prop shaft, and that piece is normally up here. Hopefully you could see that, what I was talking about. Thank you, Anthony. Appreciate that. DIY rather than pay those. Yep. Labor rates on my vehicles, and yep, I'm that way. Plus what you learn from it, that's pretty amazing. Twin outboards would cost almost as much as your truck. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Check out their transmissions manuals. Captain Steve, check out. Let me back up. Did I miss something from him? Oh, okay. Yeah, talking with Richard a while ago, he's doing some research probably as we speak, and looking at some breakdowns, because he and I were surmising what caused that to come loose like that. So what do you think? Do you think it wasn't under normal conditions where you just you're running along there and the transmission goes bad and it quits working, right? It wasn't that, and I don't know the answer, but something gave loose and gave up the ghost. But anyways, hopefully that, Richard, hopefully that you could see that really well. Good morning, Chris Turner. Bob, let's see. Low ready, I can't even say that one. That's a good one though. Let's see. Did it shear off? The nut came loose. So if you look at a breakdown of that, half of that thing is normally connected to the transmission. To get that off, there's a nut behind it, and you spin the nut out. But that whole thing goes up onto some splines. If you've seen, there was up further up in there. So that was not that way. To make it clear, the other day when this happened, I stopped and came down here. That was connected, because if y'all remember, I said I can put it in gear, I can hear the rumbling inside the transmission, but the prop shaft's not turning. So that was connected. When I turned around and came back to where I am now, that happened in that time. So something to do with the prop turning did that to come back. But what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is something more than just the prop spinning did that. There was some kind of damage at some point that's helped to cause all this. That didn't just happen like that. Let me do a quick break for a second, say something. Florida State University fan. But as on the trip, I've been buying these at all the different places and hanging them. So I don't know where I'm gonna put them all by the time to lose with. I'm gonna have to start on the other side, I guess. So, all right, we're gonna get a point to wrapping it up here. I'll answer a few more questions. So that's kind of what we're looking at. If y'all don't mind, is hitting that thumbs up button. I think it's pretty. I appreciate it. Yes, okay. Notorious. Yes, I did crank it. The engine will run fine, no problem at all. And I did not put it in gear because I don't want to damage anything else that's in there. Like, you know, as of yesterday, there was a little bit of rumbling, but I don't know what it was. So, low ready, mechanical things wear and break. That's a fact. John says, hit that like button, share and subscribe, and maybe someone close will see this and can help. Captain Steve, thanks, sir. Feel you. Jay Hen, dismal swamp logs loosened it up. That's as good as surmising that anything. I kind of feel like if I would have hit something the other day, it's just my thinking, I think it would have been more pronounced. I think, and like he said, y'all can go back and look on the video about 43 minutes and see it happen. And I'm actually going to do that because I want to see. I hadn't actually seen that. But it seems to me like if something would have happened right then to do the amount of damage of what I'm seeing, I hit something. In other words, if it would have happened yesterday, I believe it would have been more pronounced. I believe everyone would have noticed it. Like that thing goes on and there's a bolt. You see there's a nut and it spins on behind it. So it could be that was simply the prop shaft spun it off. I just don't know. Michael H, make sure you check that shaft outer seal. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, that's what so when some people say, do it in the water, they probably wouldn't even agree now to do it in the water because you see there's more substantial issues here than what can be seen, and I've got to get this boat out so I can see. Now it's not taking on water, I would know it, so but I've got to see what's now on the outside. I mean, I wouldn't be moving not knowing what's, damage is there. So Bob, take the coupler apart and maybe it's just as much as like the thing came loose. It's possible. I just don't think that's what it is. But anything's possible. Rumbling might have been the shaft slipping on the splines. I would try running it now that the shaft is disconnected. All right. To help people with, let me turn this around. It's spinning, though not, it's obviously leaking, pouring out. That is, do you see the shaft is moving around? It's actually moving back and forth, so I'm gonna stop it. Hopefully that made, yeah. So Richard asked that question this morning, so y'all see it. It's not supposed to be leaking fluid like that either. So again, let's see. Okay, yep, there's a lot of curiousness. So again, like each day it produces more questions and we don't have answers. So this month, y'all know I'm doing these lives. I was part of the July, live stream challenge, but I will definitely be keeping y'all apprised. When is the first, actually? So I'll be doing another live tomorrow, and then I guess the first is Sunday. Not sure if I find out anything new as far as another live goes, but the next big one will be Monday, when I can see, once we get a haul out, so that we can see what else we're working with. As far as pulling that prop shaft apart, all that's going to occur. And then you'll get to see, I'll just reset. The live streaming is kind of hard to do sometimes. I'm not ever live stream repairs, so we'll try it. We're going to see how that works. This actually new clamp that I got will probably help that. So Monday for sure, we're going to probably have some more answers and know more of what we're dealing with. So I know there's probably like more questions, but that's probably about the answers that I have now. Very true. So anyways, guys, there we go. That's where we are. Hopefully y'all have a good weekend. I'm going to chill through the weekend. A couple things here that I didn't get to do while I was here. I'm going to go over and tour that battleship. It'll be all videoed. And I got videos now to get done. So I'm going to have a little bit of downtime to work on that. And then I got to get under the boat today and see about tying the prop shaft up and all this going to occur with that. And then underway up toward the haul out point. I was telling Richard the problem, a challenge between here and there. There's no reason to think anything's going to happen, but I'm on down, keeps resetting, so I'm going to finish it up. There's nowhere between here and there that you could float to shore and there not be something. So it's going to be kind of an interesting deal. But so if all goes well, Monday, getting underway around 8 or 9 o'clock. And then Sunday night, live at 5, I'm doing a couple call-in guests. Y'all know I toured the Eisenhower, and I'm going to have Andrew call in, who actually gave me the tour. I'm going to be showing some pictures, kind of talk through the tour. I couldn't video the whole thing because of the sensitive nature of weapon systems and all that's on there, but I was able to take some pictures. Andrew will talk. He's stationed on it. And then Scott Hollywood, who is no longer in the military, was also stationed on it, and he's going to call in afterwards and probably be able to give us a little more information, and then there'll be some questions if you want to answer. So that'll be Sunday night, live at 5. Y'all want to check that out. There will be live stream tomorrow. Not sure exactly what it'll be. If I got any more information, I'll get it to you. But hopefully y'all have a good weekend. We'll see you soon.